Now, Eyewitness Sports with Elliot Polikoff.
We are coming up on 2 years since the UConn football team last beat an FBS opponent. Now, after a promising start to the season, it looked like that streak might come to an end. But as Huskies fans know all too well, change doesn't usually happen all that quickly. USF was favored by 11 points heading into this one. That might seem like a lot of points, but both of these teams were 1-3 entering today's matchup. South Florida up 7-0 early in the second quarter. Trayvon Sands takes it in from 4 yards out, 14-0 USF. Not a great start for UConn, but the Huskies keep on fighting. Mike Beaudry to Cameron Ross, and UConn on the move in South Florida territory. A couple of plays later, Beaudry playing a little pitch and catch with Elijah Jeffries, and the freshman does the rest, scoring from 25 yards out. UConn cutting the deficit to 7, and for any freshman, catching your first ever touchdown pass, that's a pretty big deal. But USF marches right back down the field. Jordan McLeod to Randall St. Felix in the corner of the end zone, 20-7 USF after the PAT was blocked. UConn's offense in the second quarter, though, it was in a rhythm. Kevin Mensah, that is some hard running, 18 yards to the house. But from then on, it was pretty much all USF. The Bulls win it 48-22. And afterwards, head coach Randy Edsall not too pleased with his team's performance.
Just got beat.
UConn now 1-4 on the year. They head to New Orleans next week to take on a red-hot Tulane squad. It's not all bad news, though, when it comes to Nutmeg State football. Central Connecticut State this close to being undefeated on the year. And that's their best start to a season in a decade. The Blue Devils in Fairfield for a big-time NEC clash with Sacred Heart, and CCSU getting on the board late in the first. Danley Exelome from 5 yards out, 7-0 Blue Devils. Second quarter, same score. This time it's Tyshawn James with a little bit of a nose for the end zone. Takes the snap, and he gets in from 4 yards out, 14-0 Central Connecticut State. They led 14-3 at the half. Got to give a shout out to the CCSU defense today. They were phenomenal. Aaron Winchester and the Blue Devils offense adding to their lead in the third. Tyshawn James hauling it in, 21-3. Blue Devils on top. And then Danley Exelome puts a bow on this one with the 1-yard TD. Central Connecticut State going into Fairfield and coming out with an impressive 28-3 win. A few miles to the east, undefeated Yale hosting Fordham, and the Bulldogs didn't take long to bust this one open. Reed Klubnik getting the scoring started with a 3-yard dive into the pylon, 7-0 Yale on top. It was 17-7 Bulldogs after one. Second quarter, Kurt Rawlings going to work. He even went downfield to Mason Tipton, who gets behind the Fordham secondary for the 48-yard score, and that's 24-7 Eli's, but Rawlings not done going deep. J.P. Shofie, 69-yard pitch and catch, 31-10, and Yale lighting up the scoreboard at home. But it wasn't just the offense coming up big for the Eli's. For the second straight week, Yale getting a pick six. Kyle Ellis taking it 23 yards the other way. Bulldogs win big, 48-24. Next up, a matchup of unbeatens with Dartmouth a week from today. The Yankees offense, too much for the Twins in Game 1 of their ALDS matchup. So how did Minnesota respond in Game 2? By starting a pitcher who earlier this year was more well known for his uber driving skills than throwing a baseball. Yep, Randy Dobnak was cruising around Fort Myers just this past spring in his Toyota Camry. Great story, but the feel-good vibes did not last long for him or the Twins tonight. He lasted just 2 innings, gave up 4 earned runs. The Yankees broke this one open in the third. Gleyber Torres, RBI single, makes it 3-0, but the big swing came by Didi Gregorius, bases loaded, and that'll change things in a hurry. A grand slam just stays fair down the right field line, and just like that, 7-0 Bronx Bombers. Aaron Judge, he likes what he sees, and why wouldn't he? That is more than enough insurance for Masahiro Tanaka, the righty, dealing on the mound. 5 innings pitched, 7 strikeouts, just 1 earned as New York takes a 2-0 series lead with a dominant 8-1 win over the Twins, and it all changed on that Didi Gregorius moonshot.
I knew it was fair. But I'm just thinking back to my at-bats that I had against him yesterday, and after I had 2 strikes, he threw me that fastball, so I was prepared for this time after he threw me the curveball in the dirt. So I was ready for it this time, and that's why my reaction was like that.
Game 3 on Monday in Minneapolis. Opening night for the Wolfpack at the XL Center this evening. Hartford taking on Charlotte, and after falling behind 1-0 in the first, the Pack responding in a big way. Joey Keane with the equalizer, then Vincent Laverde giving Hartford a 2-1 lead. That was the score after 1. Second period, more of the same for Hartford. Matt Bolesky with the goal, and the Wolfpack stretched that lead to 4 early in the third period. They end up winning 5-3. How about a couple of scores elsewhere in the Nutmeg State? UConn men's hockey starting off its season in Bridgeport tonight against Sacred Heart. Those teams battled to a 3-3 tie, and draws the name of the game, I guess. Hartford Athletic, they led pretty much the entire way against Swope Park tonight over at Dillon Stadium, but in the end, they also tied 2-2. Of course, that big game tomorrow, the Connecticut Sun, Game 3 of the WNBA Finals. That series is tied at 1 game apiece.
All right, Elliot, thank you.